Uh-oh. Modern day, baby. Modern day. SOG and TBC. Pound for pound.
Hey, if I would play that song, he would keep me on. Me, if I can be at the same weight or make the same weight as a fighter, then I should be able to beat him because I'm #1 in the world. I don't think I'm having any challenge, you know what I mean, with any of that right at this moment.
Yes. Nice. Nice. Oh. That's how I start work. You know how to work.
Two champions, one stage. Terence "Bud" Crawford is evolving in his training camp against Canelo Alvarez. And by his side, the undefeated legend, Andre Ward. Together, they're sharpening steel with steel inside a brutal training camp that looks less like sparring and more like war.
Today I get some rounds with the GOAT, one of the GOATs.
What's up?
Crawford is working on the mindset of breaking limits before taking on Canelo. As fight night creeps closer, DAZN cameras catch every sweat-drenched second of Crawford's transformation, showing us a man turning his preparation into destruction.
What will you have to do to be your best version in order to get this victory?
I think just be myself and just don't get careless in the ring and, you know, stay sharp all 12 rounds if it goes 12 rounds. I think that's the only thing that, you know, I need to do and make sure that in training that I sharpen up all my tools.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like a solid.
There's a silence inside Terence Crawford's camp, and it's not the calm before the storm. It's the silence of obsession. No smiles, no small talk, just a man locked in on the biggest target of his life, Canelo Alvarez.
Come on, yeah, get it, 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 yeah, get it. Come on, yeah, move out the way, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. What you got? Yeah, 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 yeah.
And make no mistake, this isn't just another fight. This is Crawford gambling his entire legacy on one night. One wrong move and everything he's built can vanish in an instant. But here's the twist. Crawford's training with Andre Ward has turned this camp into something different. It's not about surviving Canelo, it's about dismantling him. Fans are split. Some say Crawford is biting off more than he can chew. Others whisper that Canelo has finally met his nightmare matchup. The truth? That's what the silence is hiding. Because Crawford knows his destiny is hanging by a thread. In camp, every pad session is a blueprint on Canelo. Slips, counters, angles. Crawford is drilling them all. This isn't random mitt work. It's a live rehearsal of Canelo's moves. Reflex turns into weapons. Instinct turns into strategy. Crawford's preparing not just to fight Canelo, but to solve him. What separates legends from the rest isn't power, it's the mind. And right now, Crawford's mind is operating on a different level. His instincts, predatory. His preparation, surgical. While Canelo's camp polishes the same strengths we've seen for years, Crawford is dissecting weaknesses the world refuses to admit exist. Pressure, counters, movement. Every flaw is being mapped, rehearsed, and targeted. Crawford is not trying to match Canelo. Crawford is planning to expose him, to turn boxing's biggest name into his biggest victim.
Sure, you know, it gives me that mental edge to keep pushing a little bit harder because, you know, I'm already, you know, down 2 rounds, you know, being that the popularity and, you know, the person that I'm going up against is in a higher weight class than me. So, you know, in my mind, I'm already down 2 rounds. I gotta make up for, you know, those 2 rounds with the work that I put in going into this fight.
Canelo might be the face of boxing, but Terence Crawford has had enough of the disrespect. For years, critics have downplayed his resume, claiming he hasn't faced the right names. Now, with Canelo in his sights, Crawford isn't holding back, and his words cut deep.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002, you. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stuff a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? Same everybody else been saying since I moved to 147, I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next.
That trash talk is a warning shot. Crawford saying every man who doubted him got destroyed. And Canelo is about to be the next name on that list. Legacy on the line, pride on the line. This isn't just a fight anymore. This is personal. In camp, Crawford's strength and conditioning is engineered for fight night efficiency. Explosive lifts build torque in his punches, resistance sprints sharpen his stamina, and endurance circuits mirror the relentless pace of a title bout. The focus is on core stability, leg drive, and lung capacity, the tools that decide who controls the later rounds. When fatigue sets in, most fighters slow down. Crawford's goal is the opposite, to be sharper, heavier, and more punishing when the fight reaches deep waters against Canelo.
You should be able to do that. You play football. Go with your hands.
Inside Crawford's camp, the mission is crystal clear. Neutralize Canelo and take control of the ring. His team is dissecting every habit, every rhythm, every flaw in Canelo's style, building a strategy that maximizes Crawford's timing, angles, and precision. This isn't just preparation, it's a career-defining blueprint. They want Crawford calm under fire, sharp in the exchanges, and ruthless in seizing momentum. For Team Crawford, this fight isn't about survival. It's about stamping his legacy by outthinking and outclassing boxing's biggest star.
What type of fighter Canelo is. So, you know, as a fighter, you mentally prepare for things like that. You know, and then as a trainer, you know, just making sure he's sharp. You know, his mental game is sharp, his physical game is sharp. You know, strength-wise, you know, nutrition is everything. Got to, like I said, hitting on all cylinders. So by the time you step in that ring, it's easy picking.
On the heavy bag, Crawford is training so hard. Every strike is aimed at breaking Canelo down, especially to the body where critics say Alvarez has started to show cracks. Precision, angles, footwork. Crawford's drilling it until destruction becomes second nature.
Like Bud. They ain't got that power like Bud. They ain't got those skills like Bud. What?
There you go.
What?
30.
What?
There you go. Come on.
What?
10.
We gonna pull out that special stuff, Sean Porter. We gonna pull out that special stuff. Yeah. Iffy Baker.
Come on.
That's right.
In sparring, Crawford is fighting like it's already Canelo across from him. Partners are handpicked to mirror Canelo's size, style, and pressure, forcing Crawford to adapt under fire. Every round tests his patience, his composure, and his ability to turn chaos into control. And insiders say he's not just surviving these sessions, he's dismantling sparring partners. If that's true, Canelo may be walking into a nightmare already rehearsed. The boxing world is about to witness something unprecedented. While everyone's debating whether Terence Crawford is biting off more than he can chew, they're missing the real story. This isn't David versus Goliath. This is a calculated demolition job disguised as an upset. Crawford's two-division jump isn't desperation, it's a masterstroke that could expose Canelo's biggest weakness, his predictability. Mark my words, September 13th will shatter everything you think you know about modern boxing hierarchy. Crawford hasn't spent years perfecting his craft to play second fiddle to anyone, especially not a fighter who's been coasting on reputation rather than evolution. When the final bell rings, we might be looking at the most shocking upset in super middleweight history.
You know, I can't imagine thinking about getting beat. That's not something that I think about.
We've never had it as a professional fighter.
Yeah, but I never like to think about losing. It comes to each and every one of our minds as a fighter, you know, what if? But that's why we train so hard, so that if can deteriorate, you know, in camp. But, you know, a win against Canelo Alvarez, what it would do to my career would put me, you know, on Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
You know, I think I would be one of the greatest fighters ever.
No question.
But don't just take my word for it. Let's examine what the boxing elite really think when the cameras stop rolling. Shane Mosley, the former speed demon who terrorized welterweights and middleweights, dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through the boxing community. Despite acknowledging Crawford's lethal skill set and ability to dismantle elite opposition, Mosley delivered a brutal reality check in favor of Canelo. His reasoning cuts deeper than surface-level analysis. Mosley sees something in Canelo's 168-pound dominance that Crawford's camp might be dangerously overlooking. The former champion's confidence in Canelo, following his typical strategy, reveals a chilling truth. Maybe Crawford's preparation is targeting the wrong version of his opponent. When a fighter of Mosley's caliber speaks with such certainty, smart money listens.
I think it'll be a great fight. I think both guys are great fighters, but I think Canelo's just too big, and you know, they mistake him as being just a guy at 168, not a regular guy, and Crawford being the more talented. But that's not the case. They're both talented. But the only thing is, Canelo has them by two-weight division. So I think that Canelo beats him pretty easily. But we'll see. If Crawford does good, I mean, kudos to Crawford. You know, I'm happy for him. If he can pull it off, great. But my mental, my mind's telling me that Canelo's going to probably beat him.
However, Robert Garcia just threw gasoline on this fire with a statement that's got Canelo's team scrambling. Garcia's passionate defense of Crawford exposed a critical flaw in the Mexican superstar's psychological warfare. When Canelo compared this fight to his Mayweather disaster, Garcia didn't just disagree, he obliterated the comparison with surgical precision. According to Garcia, Canelo's attempting to fight yesterday's war, while Crawford's preparing for tomorrow's battle. The trainer's emphasis on Crawford's otherworldly speed, phantom footwork, and ring intelligence suggests Canelo might be walking into a tactical nightmare he's never encountered before. This isn't just optimism, It's inside knowledge that could predict the upset of the decade.
I think it's totally different. I think, Canelo was only 23, he was very young. I think this fight's gonna be great. I do see Crawford maybe pulling it up because he's got good footwork, good speed, but I don't think they're close. I don't similarize those two fights, Canelo and Floyd. I think they're just different styles. I mean, Floyd and Crawford.
Carl Frosch, never one to mince words, delivered the most honest assessment that's got both camps nervous. The former super middleweight king acknowledged Crawford's devastating inner fire and surgical precision, but his warning about weight adjustment reveals the fight's hidden danger zone. Frosch's analysis cuts through the hype. Crawford's success hinges entirely on his comfort at 168 pounds. But if he solves that puzzle, Canelo's in for the fight of his life. The British Warrior's description of this as the most interesting and intriguing fight of the year carries weight because Frosch built his legacy on reading fights others couldn't. His excitement isn't just anticipation, it's recognition that greatness is about to collide with greatness.
I think it's a great fight. It's really interesting, intriguing because Crawford's so good, so talented, unbeaten, the box of tricks. I thought the Errol Spence fight would have been close and he absolutely demolished him. But I just think he's out of his weight division. Well, he is out of his weight division. 2 or 3 weight divisions is coming up.
Yeah.
And I just don't see how a welterweight can step up to super middleweight, especially a super middleweight who's been up at light heavyweight. I don't see how he can do that and perform for longer than 4, 5, maybe 6 rounds.
Really?
I just think the weight will get to him. I used to spar welterweights,
Okay.
and they're good for a round or two because
Yeah.
they're quicker than you.
Then Manny Pacquiao dropped truth bombs that nobody wanted to hear. The Filipino legend's assessment of Crawford's challenge wasn't sugar-coated fan service. It was brutal mathematical reality. Pacquiao's emphasis on Canelo's physical advantages and bone-crushing power painted a picture of potential devastation that Crawford's supporters refused to acknowledge. But here's where it gets interesting. Pacquiao's prescription for victory through speed and footwork isn't just hope. It's the exact blueprint that's troubled Canelo throughout his career. The 8-division champion's confidence in Crawford's path to victory suggests he sees vulnerabilities in Canelo that casual observers miss. When Pacquiao speaks about exploiting weaknesses, champions listen. Brian Norman Sr. just declared war on conventional wisdom with a prediction that's got Vegas odds makers sweating. His unwavering belief in Crawford's era isn't just loyalty, it's conviction born from watching greatness up close. Norman's dismissal of public opinion and weight concerns reveals something powerful. Those closest to Crawford see something the rest of us don't. His declaration that Crawford can beat anyone isn't trainer hyperbole, it's intelligence from someone who understands what separates good from legendary. Norman's confidence in the weight jump suggests Crawford's preparation has been more thorough than anyone realizes. This isn't hope, this is inside knowledge wrapped in certainty.
Canelo versus Terence Crawford, what are your thoughts on that? A lot of people are not giving Terence enough credit. They think that he's gonna step into, the lion's den. What are your thoughts?
I'm always going with my dog Crawford, man. I'm with Crawford, man. I'm Crawford, I'm team Crawford all the way. And I'm not just saying that, for no other reason. I just think he's a great fighter. This is his era right now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. He's a very great role model.
Yeah. Man, everything about Crawford is solid so far, so I'm going with Crawford.
Sebastian Fundora brought reality crashing back with an assessment that Crawford's camp definitely doesn't want to hear. The towering champion's backing of Canelo reveals uncomfortable truths about home field advantages and weight class familiarity. Fundora's concern about Crawford's 168-pound debut exposes the elephant in the room. Greatness at one weight doesn't guarantee success at another. His prediction of problems in this new area for Crawford isn't pessimism, it's pattern recognition from someone who's navigated weight class politics. But Fundora's excitement about the matchup suggests even Canelo supporters know this fight's outcome isn't guaranteed.
September 13, man. Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford. What's your thoughts, brother?
I have Canelo.
Canelo's
comfortable at 168. Crawford's going up. Crawford looks good at 168.
Yeah.
But again, this is going to be his first fight. And he looked great at 154, but there's still, I feel that there's some things that maybe he was lacking going up on that weight, and now he's going up 2 more weight classes, so we'll see how he reacts to the weight.
Devin Haney just shattered Canelo's psychological warfare with one devastating observation. His dismissal of Crawford-Mayweather comparisons wasn't just opinion, it was strategic analysis that exposes Canelo's flawed preparation. Haney's emphasis on facing a much better version of Canelo reveals the Mexican star's evolution since his Mayweather humiliation. This isn't the same vulnerable fighter Floyd embarrassed. This is a seasoned destroyer who's learned from every mistake. Haney's warning suggests Crawford might be preparing for a ghost while the real Canelo plots his destruction.
I think that.
Well, he didn't really make it clear.
I think that Crawford is fighting. I think Crawford is fighting a different Canelo than Floyd has. A much better version Canelo than Floyd fought. So that's why I think the difference is.
Max Kellerman delivered the analysis that's got both camps taking notes. His breakdown of Canelo's ring control and physical dominance versus Crawford's technical wizardry and adaptability frames this fight as a chess match between different forms of brilliance. Kellerman's identification of this as a Fight of the Year candidate isn't just hype, it's recognition that two incompatible fighting philosophies are about to create fireworks. His balance between Canelo's advantages and Crawford's counters suggests this fight could go either way, making it the most unpredictable matchup in recent memory.
But in recent years at super middleweight, he's gotten really good at cutting off the ring. Again, last fight notwithstanding. So as an overall suite of skills, recent vintage, it's been Crawford. But Canelo also is skilled and has a larger skeleton than Crawford. No matter what they weigh, Canelo's the bigger guy. Yeah. I would say early in the fight, Canelo, and earlier in his career, Canelo. But he hasn't been that kind of fighter in recent years. Although Crawford is also hittable. With any fighter, when you talk about their defense, the question is not, can they be hit with a shot?
So here's the question that's keeping boxing insiders awake at night. Who really wins when skill meets evolution? When Crawford's pound-for-pound greatness collides with Canelo's weight class mastery? The smart money might be on Canelo, but the smart eyes see Crawford's path to immortality. This isn't just about September 13th. This is about legacy, about proving that greatness transcends weight classes and comfort zones. Drop your predictions below, but remember, in boxing, the most confident predictions often become the most embarrassing memories. Like and subscribe if you're ready to witness history, because after September 13th, everything changes.